Hi, have a nice lunch. Yesterday we talked about how the budget deal, the debt reduction deal had passed. Well, today we're going to talk about how to enforce it. You know, you have to keep the pressure on. Let it up for a minute and these guys will go right back to their old big spending ways. Obama got everybody to act by August 2nd. I don't think as much because of the threat of default as because the folks wanted to get away to their August vacation and nothing was going to hold them in Washington. But everybody wants to take a break from it. Everybody wants to take a rest and let everyone cool down a little bit. But when we come back in September, if the Republicans just sit back and say, well, this commission is going to make the $2 trillion of cuts and they're going to have a recommendation and I'm sure it's going to take place because of this enforcement trigger that's built into this bill, they will be kidding themselves. That trigger isn't worth the paper it's written on. For example, one of the things that's supposed to happen, you know, the sky's supposed to fall in if the cuts are not made by this committee or not adopted by Congress. One of the things that's supposed to happen is an automatic reduction in the payments to Medicare providers, doctors and hospitals. Well, that's been on the books for 6 years. There's an automatic 6% cut in reimbursement to doctors and hospitals that has been statutorily required for the last 6 years. And every single year, Congress waives it and says, not this year. Now it's got 36% cuts that haven't been made. So they're just going to do the same thing. What will happen is this commission will come out with recommendations that'll be largely unpopular. It'll call for curbing some Medicaid, curbing Medicare, might involve some Social Security stuff, it'll involve some defense stuff, some other spending cuts, and a lot of people are going to howl about it, and Congress isn't going to pass it. The Democrats won't go along with it. They'll say, I won't pass it without taxes, and the Republicans will say, I won't pass it with taxes. You know the drill. And then when the trigger cut comes in, this draconian punishment, hey, everybody will laugh at it. They'll just suspend it and move on. So how do we enforce that $2 trillion of spending cuts, which is really the crucial element in this debt deal? We can't tell Obama we're not going to raise the debt limit. We've already given away that card. He can now do it on his own. But what we can do is we can use the third weapon in our arsenal. The first was the continuing resolution. Boehner threw that away. The second was the debt deal. He did a good job of negotiating a good deal in return for raising the debt limit. Now it's time to play the third card, which is the 2011-2012 budget. And what the Republicans should do is say, we are not going to pass a year-long budget. We're going to pass a 3-month budget, continuing resolution, and it'll expire on January 1st. And if the cuts have passed, if they've gone through, then fine, terrific. We'll vote the other 9 months and you can have a very nice year. But if they don't go through, we are not going to spend more money until you keep your commitment to cut the budget that you made last year. And that's what the Republicans need to do. And if we do that, we can hold their feet to the fire. We can actually accomplish these cuts. And by the way, we can make Obama look terrible in the process because, as always, he'll be pushing for taxes and opposing cuts. And as always, he'll back down because at heart he's a cream puff. So that's my recommendation to you. So have a nice lunch. And, you know, we do this every day at lunch. And please invite some other folks to join us.